to my own big cherry on the top, sweet. Everything around me is looking up. If life is what you make it, I'ma celebrate it. I'm feeling like a brand new me. For the very first time, I'm right where I'm meant to be. I'ma tell everybody I'm feeling like a brand new me. Brand new, brand new. Cloud nine, I just took a little visit and the old me didn't know what I was missing. Seeing so clear, got that 20/20 vision. It was in me all along. All I had to do was listen to that heartbeat down inside of my chest. The little voice in the back of my head saying, one day you'll be living a dream. You'll see, I'm feeling like a brand new me. For the very first time, I'm right where I'm meant to be. I'ma tell everybody I'm feeling like a brand new me. Brand new, brand new. Feeling like a brand new me, brand new me. I'm feeling like a brand new me. Yeah. Feeling like a brand new me. I'm feeling like a brand new me. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, let's go. You ain't gotta ask me. We can hit the road, got room in the backseat. Boys from the back street, come so far just singing over rap beats. See you on the way up, only looking down when we're seeing where we came from. You ain't gotta wait up, never gonna slow back down. There's no stopping now, they can't take us down. There's no reason to fight this feeling, 'cause I love this life. Yeah, it feels alright. And there's no reason to stop believing, 'cause I love this life. And the future's bright. And there's no reason to fight this feeling. Yeah, I love this life. 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 I won't wait around for the curtain fall.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to another live. We are back. Happy Thursday, everybody. We are on Instagram, we're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I got our COO Ethan, offers by Ethan over here, does all of our offers for our clients. What's going on, Ethan? How are you, man? I think you're muted there.
I am good. How are we doing?
Good, man. Good. If anybody has any questions on scaling your video business, pricing packages, we'll talk about, we'll pick a couple topics here, but if you have any questions on pricing, packages, anything around actually growing your video business, growing your agency. We've worked with 500 video agencies to up to this point, one-to-one. That's not some course. We have thousands of people in our courses, but 500 people one-to-one, which is a lot over the past couple of years. So we've basically seen everything. So if you have any questions, drop them down below. And if you guys can, drop where you are calling in from, and we'd love to know. But Ethan, what's going on in your neck of the woods, dude? Been working with all the clients today?
Yep. Just working on offers and sales. Just putting together packages and basing them off of gaps. From sales call, discovery call.
Yep.
I'm just seeing because you want to make sure the shoe fits. If you need to
Right.
hire people, I don't want to offer you a bunch of micro content because it's not part of a like a training program that you might need.
100%. Yeah, I got a question on my coaching call, my private coaching call yesterday that I think I'll highlight. And it was like, how do I know what niche to go into? And so what I usually do is I figure out like, hey, where do you have some past experience, whether you or somebody that you know, like where do you have some sort of past knowledge? Like, for example, one of our clients, I won't say who he is, but he worked with like, he's worked with Facebook and some of these large tech companies doing animated packages and animated shorts to essentially help them drive more traffic to their website, to their products, to their pages. And he was wondering, he's like, where should I go as far as a niche? I said, well, we should probably start in the tech space because you have a lot of experience within tech and SaaS companies, and you've done that for the past 15 years. It's a lot harder to build all that knowledge up front. Like if you were to start over, I was like, you can lean on that knowledge, lean on that experience, and use that as we craft offers. So then we go after tech and SaaS companies, right? Another one was Sean and his partner, and they had done a lot of work with medical companies before, and they were like he was a nurse for a long time, so it naturally made sense for him to go towards medical companies, right, and create content for those. So you just want to look at like, where do I have some leverage within my business to essentially create content and have some sort of expertise that I can lean on. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you see that a lot too, and where people are like, well, where do I go?
Yep. 100%. Yeah. Look, past experience or, even something that's like a hobby of yours. Like, if you really like to go to the gym, you probably spend a lot of time looking at nutrition and workout plans and that kind of stuff. And that can really, whether you have experience with it on the video side or not, it's still something you have a lot of knowledge in.
Yeah, exactly. You want to look for those little pieces where you have that knowledge. So, I mean, that's one of the biggest questions we have where it's like, what niche do I go into and how do I figure out where to go and lean on like, who have you done work for in the past? Who do you enjoy working with? Who have you worked with and you've gotten them some sort of result, right? Because at the end of the day, we're providing results to our clients. We're not providing them with just content at the end of the day. We need to be able to get some sort of results. So if you have some leverage there, lean on that leverage to then create content. You know what I mean?
Content's just a vehicle to get from point A to point B.
Yep, exactly. And then you price yourself based on the result that you can get for the client. So if you're creating content and you can help them, you've done it before and you've generated hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in sales with your content, then what you can do is you then are able to leverage that and charge higher prices instead of being stuck in commodity-based pricing where you're charging what everyone else charges and they don't necessarily have the same results that you have. You know what I mean? And so that's what you really want to look for when you are creating content is you want to make sure that you are able to get them results and you're able to get them some sort of monetary outcome at the end of the day.
It's like asking, hey, do you want a brand video? It's $4,000 versus, hey, do you want to build a way for your clients to trust you and automatically generate leads? The second one sounds a lot better.
Right. Exactly. Especially if I'm a business owner. Let's answer some questions here. So, Sahil, yo, what's going on, man? You said you're just starting out as a freelancer and you've partnered with an amazing graphic designer to offer graphic or video work for small to medium-sized businesses. So that's great. What I would say is make sure you get clear on what is the outcome of that? Like, why are they paying for graphic or video work? Like, people are not buying content to buy content, they're buying an outcome. So, what is the outcome that you give them? And then you want to sell that outcome in your sales meeting, in your conversations, in your actual your discussions with them, because they're buying the outcome. They are not buying the like the actual graphics and video work. And so I think you said we're looking to pitch packages starting from 2K all the way up to 7K. That's great. I think you could probably go higher if you're able to attach yourself to a result that you're able to get for them. And if you are able to justify the outcome, right? So, like, if I'm a business or brand, that's fine if you target businesses or brands, but you want to say, like, who specifically do you want to target within businesses or brands? Because that's kind of broad and it's kind of difficult to be able to quantify that. But if I said, hey, I make graphic and video content that attracts more patients and more leads to medical businesses, now I'm a lot more specific there, right? And now I can charge a lot more because I'm very specific with the type of person that I serve and the outcome that I get them, right?
Yep.
So,
I'd also say identify a niche between the two of you guys,
yep.
as well as if you've worked with that. Just like we were just talking about, like if you've worked with that niche in the past, go back and get case studies, because then you can bring that to your future clients too. And I saw that you mentioned that you have a handful of leads that you're nurturing currently. Those are testimonials that you can send over to them before you get on a sales call.
Yeah, imagine how easy it is to close somebody if you say, "Hey, here's 5 other medical companies that we've created content for. Here's some video case studies," because we sell video. We need to be able to have video case studies of our clients, and if we don't, then what are we doing? But you could send, multiple video case studies over to them prior to them actually hopping on, and then now they're pre-framed, they love you, they're bought into what it is that you're doing, as opposed to just like you hoping and praying they get on there and want to buy from you, right? You're able to pre-frame them with results that you got for other people who look like them, right?
Yep. I see you said he's got a juice company and a med spa. I would go with the med spa. I'd go with health and wellness niche personally, versus like because like, Eric and I, we talked about this, like, food and bev, restaurant businesses, just terrible profit margins. And you and I both worked in hospitality for a little bit, and the margins aren't great. And with, med spa, I mean, the big 3 things you can sell are health, wealth, and relationships.
Yep. Yeah, and maybe the juice company could be in that, right? But like, the problem is, as a juice company, what are they selling? They're probably selling juice, and
The
each
product
juice is
versus
maybe
the
like
service.
$10. Maybe it's $20 if you live in California, right? But like,
Yep.
it's
Yep.
10, $20, and each one of those is like a low ticket amount of money. So it's like not a huge, like, it's just very, very difficult to be able to, for them to be able to make an ROI on that. So yeah, like you said, I would go after the med spas and go after those medical clinics and the people who are going to be able to have the money to pay for that. Because like, I mean, like, my wife used to work with like laser hair removal, and each one of those packages is 15, could be 15, 20 grand. So if you can create content that gets them more leads, then they're easily able to make that money back with a very, like, very small package of yours. So I would definitely go after med spas. They have a lot higher lifetime value. And you want to look for companies that have a high customer lifetime value and sell something for a high ticket amount of money. Home builders, med spas, lawyers, home service companies. Ethan, what are some other ones as well?
Solar, lawyer, medical device.
Yep.
And typically it's going to be people that provide a service rather than a product.
Yeah, and if you do a good job and you help them actually get a result, they're never going to want to stop paying you, because they're just going to keep paying you every single month, right? And so, like, I know some people are like, well, I'm worried that it's going to be too expensive for the client, but that's just not the case, because if you're actually doing your job and you're helping them get a result, then like it's not going to be an issue for them. Like, they're going to see the money that they're making from the content that you're creating. And honestly, you can go out one day a month, charge a 5K a month retainer, make it super simple. And like, you're not running around for all these little jobs, and you're able to stabilize some of that income, right? Which is the goal at the end of the day.
Yep. And it's also not just about what do they spend on each visit they come in, it's how long do they stick with you. Also,
Right.
if they spend $200 with you and they come in every 6 months or every 2 months, 6 times a year, that's $1,200 a year, not $200.
Yep. Right. So lifetime value, you got to make sure that you're aware of what their lifetime value is. And I think another thing I was talking about on our private coaching call, maybe I'll upload a snippet on YouTube here, but like, really figuring out the gap. Like, I think a lot of clients sometimes are afraid to ask, what is the like how much is the business currently making every single month? And then how much do they want to be making? How many clients are they getting every single month? How many clients do they want to be getting? right? And so just really like building that gap. If we don't ask those tough questions, then it can be difficult to understand or like help them bridge that gap of where they are to where they want to be, because we're not able to figure out where they are and where they want to be, right? We're just not asking the right questions. And so a
Yep.
lot of that comes down to having the right questions, asking the right questions in the meeting, and establishing that gap.
Yep.
Let's see. Eternal Seconds, what's the best way to show results if you've mostly done in-house content for donor events and social media content where you can see views, but it's hard to show a specific ROI? Ethan, you want to start on this one?
Yeah, so I'd say for the donor events, you could look at, I'm guessing it's probably for nonprofit, sounds like most likely. So I would see, what kind of donations they got from that. Could even be attendance. I'm not sure if there might be ticket sales that you could attribute to the content as well if you did any, marketing leading up to the event.
Maybe like what was the difference before they did your like before they put out your content for the donor events, maybe the attendance, like you said, and then what was the difference after? And so you just want to look at like there's like level 1 and level 2 results, and like it doesn't matter what you get, you just want to make sure you get some sort of result, because you want to show that you have some sort of proof. So like level 1, like Ethan said, is like, maybe get them saying that before they had your content or your company's content because you were in-house. Maybe you can't get that case study from them, but maybe you can document something from them to where it's like before they had, 10 attendance and then after they had 100 or whatever it may be. And then figuring out what that difference is. And then letting the people who watch that case study kind of draw the gap of like, well, if I had 100 attendance, I'd probably get more donations. So like, even though you're not saying that, they're drawing that parallel, if that makes sense. And then if not, then I would just do views. Like we had one of our clients, Juan, does FPV. You've probably seen some of his stuff. They've gotten like 11 to 20 million views.
He works with like Young LA, which
Young LA. He works with some other people, but like he didn't necessarily. He did some realtor stuff too. Like we're working with him right now, but like he didn't necessarily have like ROI based stuff like money, but we were able to highlight like how he got Young LA get Young LA, 1 million views or 11 million views or whatever it was on their content. And so like, then if I'm a business and I'm like, well, it'd be nice if I had 11 million views, then like you can draw that correlation of like, if I had more views, I'd get more leads, I'd get more sales. And then that would trickle down to ROI at the end of the day.
And then like, if you have a link in your bio to the, like like with Young LA, I think it's a clothing brand. I think.
We sound so old, bro. We should know this. We're 20s. We're 25.
Yeah, I just like to work.
Yeah, we just help our clients.
But if you have a link in the bio of like your Instagram page, for example, you could take a look at like, let's say you worked with them for 3 months. You could look at the 3 months before they started working with you, and then the 3 months that you worked together, and compare just things like website traffic.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, good question. What else we got, guys? Ethan and I can ramble if you want, but you might not want us to ramble and just go on and on and on. So if you have questions, drop them below. I see a decent amount of you on the live here. Drop some questions, and we are happy to answer them. Don't just sit in the back quietly. We'll call you out if we can see you. But no, yeah, I think like you said, it's just getting case studies, having proof, and then I mean, it's really just like showing your clients they can get a result. I put an email out about this recently, but it was like, clients don't care about the quality of the work. They care about the results. Now the quality needs to be good, but at the end of the day, like they care about making more money. If a not as good looking piece of content can make them more money and get them more leads, they're going to do that as long as it doesn't look horrible and it doesn't represent their brand in a bad light. You know what I mean? So I think it really is just focusing on like, how can I help this client get more views, get some sort of like result from the content, as opposed to just creating content for no reason,
Yep, exactly. 100%.
Yeah. What other questions do we have, guys? Let's see if I can pull some over here from Instagram. Let's see. What other things are your clients running into right now, Ethan? People you're working with while I look up this.
Coming up with packages.
Yep.
Sales, objections are always a big one, but I think something people look past is the discovery portion of sales.
Yep. Like what specifically within there?
Probably, biggest thing is just creating a gap, right? Of, where are we at now? Where do we want to be? And then I think we touched on this with Evan on Tuesday too, of like using, the chunk, like chunk down questions. What are the results? How long has that been going on? Do you feel like this is sustainable for you guys, and just widening that gap over time? Because if they've been trying the same thing for 2-3 years, well, we got a pretty big gap here. And if we're in the same place 3 years later, something's got to give. We got to do something.
Right. 100%. Absolutely. Let's see here. Pulling up this question. Devin Payne, do you use subs for videographers or prefer W2? What are the pros and cons? This is a good question. So I think what you mean by subs is like 1099 contractors. Maybe elaborate for me in the comments here. So it depends on where you're at. So if your business is generating, let's say 30 to 40K a month, you can definitely hire a W2. Yeah, you said yes. Okay. You can definitely hire a W2 like videographer / editor. But if you're below that 30K a month mark, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing W2 because there's too much fluctuation within your income for the business. It's too risky. And so we worked with one of our clients, Jeff, on this, and he had hired a full-time editor, but the income wasn't necessarily there to support it. So a lot of his payroll went to that 1099 person, right? And so this is actually a good point. Maybe I can pull this up. But Ethan, you want to kind of walk through the P&L of what we should be shooting for, like as far as profitability? I can pull that up here as well.
Typically we shoot for, 70, 75, 80%. Obviously, if you can make 100%, that's awesome. But, 70% is a good rule.
Yeah.
A good, 70% is a good rule of thumb. So, if you're bringing in, like we said, 30,000 a month, 70% of that is going to be 21,000. So you got about 9,000 to play with.
Yeah. So you want to price those retainer packages in a way where you have 30% that's going to cost, like total cost for the entire project. And then the rest should be profit, because then that gives you a good safety net. So then you're not worrying too much about like, oh my God, I'm stretched on my margins here. Right. So you really want to make sure that you are, that you're tracking that. And a lot of people are just not tracking that. They just throw prices together haphazardly and they don't work backwards between like, okay, this package is $10,000 a month, but it costs me $9,000 a month to fulfill on it. And so if the package is $10,000 a month, you really want the expenses to not exceed $3,000 a month. So that's like everybody you need, and pretend like you can't work, right? It's a good thought exercise, but pretend like you can't do any of the work, and only like you can only hire people to do the work for you. And so if that's the case, we have $3,000 to work with, right? And so we want to make sure that we are within that margin. I'm just pulling this up here.
Yep.
But good question there. So if you're below 30K a month, I would hire contractors on a per project basis. If you're above 30K a month, then I would be hiring a full-time person, because then you're going to start saving money by having that payroll. Where does marketing fall in the 70? Yeah. So good question. So if you think about it from an overarching standpoint, we want to shoot for, on just the package itself, we want to be shooting for 70% profitability. As a business as a whole, I'm going to show you an example of a P&L template that we give our clients, and I'll show you how that works. So pull this up here. I don't think I've ever shared screen on this.
You can break out the iPad.
I guess so. Let me see. Let me see if I can share. Okay. Can you guys see this?
I got you.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. So this is an example of a P&L template for our clients. So up here, we have total revenue contracted. So like, let's say, I'm just using random examples here, right? But like $130,000 a month. That's the revenue. That's what you sold. But then you have total cash collected here, and that's $100,000. Now, let's say you have some refunds. You put the refunds in there, right? That's percentage of income. So with, total income, let's say is $98,490. Now, the different kind of segments, 3 different segments for your P&L is going to be advertising acquisition costs, cost of labor, and then other expenses. And so advertising acquisition costs is going to be 30 to 35%. So about 30% is going to go to like actually spending money on ads, doing referrals, like actually getting new clients. It could be less, it could be 25, but Typically we see like 20 to 30% is average there. And then you have cost of labor. This is going to be 25 to 30%. So that's where that 70% margin comes into play. So that's where you have 25 to 30% of your total P&L is going to labor. So in this case, it's $23,000, right? Is right around 23% of our total income. I know this is not very sexy stuff, guys, but we need to know this as business owners too. Like you need to understand where this comes from. And that's why we give this to our clients. Other expenses, this is typically like bank charges, software fees, insurance, office expenses, meals, medical, training, learning, travel, all that jazz should be no more than 5 to 10% of our total monthly income. And then that leaves us with a total net in this example of $44,000 net each month, right? At 44% margins. And so your margins as a whole, the entire business should be minimum 30%, but it can go as high as 50% when you're smaller. As you start to get into multiple 6 figures a month, you're typically going to be closer to that 30 to 40% margin because you have a larger team and more people to actually you have to hire to help with stuff. So hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully that answers your question. I think it was Devin on the profitability stuff. Let's see if I can stop sharing here. Let's see. Cool. Thank you. You got it, dude. Absolutely. Is the wedding wire / not worth it? Adam, we don't help with like weddings, but Ethan, you're shaking your head. You wanna elaborate?
Yeah, well, yeah, like you said, yeah. I mean, we know, yeah, we mainly focus on commercial. That's our bread and butter. Been doing it a long time. But from people that I've worked with who kind of transitioned from weddings over to commercial, wedding wire, the knot. I think there's another one. I forget. But it's really just kind of left to the lowest bidder at the end of the day.
Because they sell that same lead to everybody. So the minute somebody fills out a form on wedding wire or the knot, or they make a website, they basically sell that lead to everybody on the platform. So it's called like not exclusive lead generation. So it's non-exclusive, which means that you have a bunch of people fighting over the same lead. Whereas what we prefer,
like eBay, where you bid on a project, you bid for, except you're going, instead of highest, it's the lowest bidder.
Yep, 100%. I'm gonna break out the iPad. Give me one sec. But no, 100%. It is. It's like that's for us. We prefer generating our own leads. So like if we have like what we do with our clients is we build out an actual inbound system so that they can generate their own exclusive leads. You have a much higher conversion rate on that. Like one of our clients, Julian's doing that. I think he's doing 30 to 40K a month as a wedding videographer wedding videography company. So he's doing about 30. I think last time I checked, it was like 30, 35K a month. And he's doing all that through his own lead generation efforts. So hopefully that makes sense, Adam.
Well, just like commercial direct to client is the best way to go.
Yep. 100%. Let's see if I can break out the iPad. Man, the iPad is dead. So I guess not.
Oh man, I was looking at iPads earlier.
You were? Yeah. I love it.
Might get one for my coaching calls.
I love it. I love it. Adam, you said I'm on the free version. I get 2 to 5 hits on that, which is fine. Yeah, of those 2 to 5, like how many of those actually end up converting? That's what I'd be curious on. Let's see. A couple questions on Instagram here. Let's see. I just need a free or one-time purchase video editing software. Any suggestions? I mean, I would just do DaVinci Resolve. It's very simple and easy. Makes it simple to use and you don't have to pay for it. About 2 to 3. Nice. Well, I mean, dude, if it's working for you, I'd keep doing it. But as far as like scaling that, we've just found having an inbound system definitely helps as far as scaling the lead generation there. Let's see if my camera's not coming out here. There we go. Okay, cool. Bad Habits Productions. What is going on? I like that name. How do I make myself stand out to potential customers when I'm still new to the industry? Case studies. Get proof. Get proof that you are who you say you are. Yep. Right? I know it's super generic advice, but like it's super, super key and super critical, and it makes it so much easier. So like if you don't have any clients, offer to do something for free and work to get them a result, and then document the result in a case study. Easy, right? Most video production companies don't have case studies. If you literally just get case studies, you will stand out among all of them, like most of them. That's one of the first things we do with our clients. Super,
Yep.
super simple.
Yep.
And obviously we have a template of how that case study would look. But I mean, if you don't have case studies, just get some case studies, do some work for free, get them a result in exchange for a case study. And that case study is going to be worth its weight in gold.
Yep. Biggest thing is trust. People like to work with people they trust.
100%. And then if they can see other people who look like them,
Yep.
who have gotten a result with you, they're going to trust you a lot more, right? So if you go to masterfilmmaker.com/case studies, little plug, you can see a bunch of people who look like you, who are production companies who have worked with us, and we've helped them generate 5 to 6 figure deals, right? And so like, you wouldn't trust me if I didn't have proof that I was who I said I was, right? So super, super key. You have to make sure you have that proof. People won't take your word for it. Let's see. What else? Drone Capone is back on Instagram. What's going on? I love that name. That's so good. Is it worth it to become a color grading master for my business, or is it better off outsourcing? I've tried color grading, but there's definitely a learning curve. Look, Adam, I'd be honest with you. Anything on the fulfillment side, you should be outsourcing as quickly as possible. Your job as the owner or CEO of your business is to make more money, make more sales, generate more revenue. That's it, right? Hire everything else out that you don't have to, that you can't, that like I would hire everything else out that comes to the fulfillment side. So you don't need to actually do any of that. Because like, is color grading going to make you more money directly? No, probably not. Is learning how to get more leads, close more clients, and hire more people on your fulfillment team to make you more money going to be making you more money? Yes, absolutely. So like, focus on revenue generating activities. Do not focus on things like, you know, color grading or editing. Like all that stuff should be outsourced as soon as you have the money to do that. And you have to buy back your time there. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck in this loop where all you're doing is the same thing and you're stuck editing and filming, and you can't actually get on, like, work on the business instead of working in the business, right?
Yep. You could just hire somebody and bypass the entire learning curve.
Right. I can just pay someone who's really good at color grading and buy their 10 years of experience, and they can just edit my film, right? Easy. So like, why would you not just pay for that experience when you can go make more money by learning how to generate more money, generate more leads, generate more clients, generate more calls, right? So like, if you're not doing that, then it makes no sense to learn that stuff yourself. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. We got a couple more minutes here, and then Ethan and I got to jump to some client calls here. So if you guys have any other questions, let us know. Otherwise, we will wrap this live up. And just as a reminder, we do these lives every Tuesday and Thursday. So if you have any questions, drop them down below, and we probably have an answer for you. Makes sense? Absolutely, dude. Let me see if I can refresh this. Do you use Indeed for videographers and editors, or do you have a more industry-tailored way of getting quality employees in the creative field? This is a good question. So I would first, I mean, you probably know other people who are videographers and editors. So number one, there's a tiered list that I go through in order to get these types of like people to work for me. And my best clients have come from referrals, right? So ask people you know, hey, do you know anybody who's a really good videographer or editor? Or you probably know those people. So see what their rates are. And then what I do is I go to then something like Indeed or Facebook group after that. So I always start with referrals. Like I have a team of like, I think we have 12, 13 people. We're hiring some people this month. So we're probably at like 15, 16 people on our team right now. Yep. Of those people, most of them have been referrals. Almost all of them have been referrals. That's where you find the best quality people. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. When talking to potential clients, better off with just a phone, FaceTime, or meet in person. If you're not very good at sales, meeting in person is going to be the best because you build the most trust. It's easy for them to trust you because you're literally there in person, right? Now, that's not scalable. You can't go in person to meet all of your clients. Like for right now, you should see our calendar. We have 5 people taking calls right now, and each one takes 8 calls a day. There's no way they can do that in person. So what we do is Zoom. And so Zoom is the next best option with, hopping on with your camera on, with your audio on, and trying to get some face-to-face interaction to build that similar trust. But meeting in person, if you're not good at sales, is going to be the easiest way to build more trust and close that sale. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, great. You got it. Ooh, Giovanni Films. What is the best way to deliver a proposal? You don't deliver a proposal.
You
and
share
let me explain. So you go over the proposal on the second call with them. You do not send them a proposal, because when you send them a proposal, what do you think happens, Ethan?
You were fighting an uphill battle all day
Why?
long because you can't answer questions, you can't answer objections. All the decision makers may not be there.
Right. All they see is a price, and
You
they
also
decide
can't.
too expensive, can't do it, and then they can just decide to ghost you and never get back to you, and they hold all the power. And you're not even there to help alleviate any sort of objections or concerns that they have.
Yep, because if it's just over an email, they could, or you text it to them, they could block your number. They could never talk to you again. Yeah, it's
They just want to know, and they can also take that proposal and price shop it to everybody else. Now, can they not do that if you hop on a call with them? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they can do that as well, but they're far less likely to do that if you're there to explain and alleviate any sort of objections that they may have and concerns that come up in that call. Because every call, every yes starts with a no. So if they, everyone who's ever moved forward with us, move forward with our company or anybody's company, they start with a no, and they say like, no, I don't think I could do it because objection. And that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just means that everyone has objections. But if you're not there on the call to conquer the objections, it's very difficult to close them, because they won't tell you what the objection is, because most people don't want to tell you. So you have to be able to go through a sales process. And that's something we train our clients on how to objection handle and how to actually get over those price objections, so then you can close the deal. Tim, does the proposal answer also be similar to posting? Tim, don't ever, we love you, Tim, but don't ever post your prices on your website, please. I want you to make money.
Unless you're selling a t-shirt.
Unless you're selling a t-shirt or you're selling something under $1,000, you should not be putting your prices on your website. Tim, we want you to make money. So please, please, please do not do that. The other thing is, Ethan, if I asked you, like, do you feel like a solution is customized to you if you see the price on a website?
No, I feel like it's just a cookie cutter solution. You didn't talk to me. You don't understand why I need, why I'm looking for video.
Yep.
I mean, we could use a medical analogy here. If you just
please do
for, back surgery, our favorite back surgery on a website, it's like, well, I don't think I need back surgery, so I'm probably not going to buy it. But if I go talk to a doctor and like, well, hey, you need X, Y, and Z, it's like, well, hey, expert says I need this, so I'm going to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yep, exactly. And at the end of the day, like, your clients don't feel special purchasing off a website. Like, if you're selling something low ticket, like maybe you're doing real estate photography for just like listings, which is totally fine. Yep. Like that you can purchase off a website. If you're selling high-end packages in the 15, like we have clients, it was who was it? It was Roman who closed the $124,000 deal. He was going to send them a proposal. All I said is go over it with them on a call. It made such a difference. The client was like, hey, thank you so much for just taking the time to explain this to us. We feel like this is customized to our needs. We feel like it's something that'll actually work for us. And like, you're going to have a much higher conversion rate and close rate when you go over that on the second call. Please, please, please never, ever, 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 ever put your prices on your website, or just like blankly send somebody an email with a price. Because the other side of it is it makes them feel not very special. And just like, it's like you have a call with them and then you're like, here's the price, bye. Right? It's like, it doesn't feel very genuine, So Tim, please don't do that. I want you to make lots and lots of money and close 5- and 6-figure deals like our clients. So please don't put your prices on your website.
You can put a book a call page on your website.
No yes. Yeah. Everything should be leading to booking a call. So like, if clients are like, hey, how much is it? Hey, let's hop on a call, right? Hey, what is X, Y, and Z? What would this package cost? Hey, let's hop on a call so I can understand your needs and understand if this is going to be something that's a fit for you, right? So everything should be leading back to booking a call and actually hopping on a call and understanding their problem and their needs. So,
yeah,
100%. Giovanni says, awesome, thanks. Tim says, thank you, absolutely, dude. I have a mix of both on the site so far. Yeah, Tim, I would just take those off. I would just take them off and just put a book a call. Just say, hey, book a time with one of our team members or with us to talk more about your project. It makes it feel more custom. It makes them feel more special. You end up getting a higher close rate. You close more deals because you've taken the time to customize that solution to them. So,
yep.
And that's something we help our clients with, obviously, from literally how to get more leads, how to actually set up those sites, how to set up those call booking forms, because there's a lot within those call booking forms that you need to make sure is correct. Otherwise, you could push people away that you don't want to push away. And then obviously we help them.
Not enough.
Too much friction is bad. Too many questions, too little questions is bad. You have to make sure you have the right mix. And then obviously we walk our clients through how to actually do those sales calls and sales meetings so it doesn't feel salesy, and we're able to get those clients to move forward if it is the right fit. So sweet, guys. Last call for questions. We got like 30 seconds here if anybody has anything else, and then Ethan and I got to run. We have a packed day today, so we gotta keep moving here. Devin, one last question. Hire a web designer or use the CRM, or just use both. Ethan, we talked about making pages for the CRM, but the main site. I would just use the CRM in the beginning. So unless you've done like $1 million in sales on your offer, I wouldn't worry about a web designer. I did $1 million before I had any sort of web designer, homepage, anything crazy like that. Just use the CRM. And I think you're talking about our in-house CRM. Is Devin a client, Ethan?
Yeah, it's Heather's husband.
Oh, Devin. Sorry, Devin. I can only see the back of your head here, man. I'm like, who's Devin for a second? Yeah, Devin, just use the CRM and then hop on our main calls, obviously, since we have 16 of those a week. So just hop on those with on Zoom so we can talk to you face-to-face there as well.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Anything else? Going once? Going twice? No? All right, guys. Well, great live. Great talking to you guys. If you have any questions, if you have anything, if you need anything, there is a link below this call to book a call with our team. If you want to learn more about how we could potentially help you scale your video business. And feel free to check out the YouTube content for anything else. And we will see you guys in the next live.
You ain't gotta ask me. We can hit the road, got room in the backseat. Boys from the back street, come so far just singing over rap beats. See you on the way up, only looking down when we're seeing where we came from. You ain't gotta wait up, never gonna slow back down. There's no stopping now, they can't take us down. There's no reason to fight this feeling, 'cause I love this life.